Hi, so due to many requests, I'm going to show you how to export multiple avatar animations with MyAniMATE. Now I've been trying to implement an automated solution that unfortunately so far did not work. So here is the manual procedure on about how to go about it. So the first step is to import, but anyway I show you that I've created two scenes, the female avatar and the male avatar scenes that we're going to import into this empty scene where our character was already prepared for animation. Now I'll just show you opening this one here. Okay, you may as well have some animation, but on this one we don't. Okay, and the same goes for the male avatar, so it's gonna be easier to recognize what is what. See, both avatars are have been saved, ready to be animated. Then we open a third scene, which in this case is tutorial 2 multiple avatars. Let's save that. Okay. Alright, so the next step is to import one of the two. I will start with a female avatar. And we get this. So hitting 6 will also show the textures, and I'm using the X-ray joints in order to be able to select the bones here. Now the first thing you have to notice once you do this, because the whole procedure revolves around this, is that once you import it you get a group which can stand there, it's not a problem, but we also have namespaces. Now we will use namespaces for this procedure, but we don't want to have any default one being created for all of the stuff we have here. So the next step is to open up in the Windows General Editors namespace editor, and we need to make sure we remove all of the namespaces that we have here to begin with. So first one, delete merge with root. Second one, 2, merge with root. Okay. You can optionally also rename the group, but that's not really important. We're going now to import the other one. So import, and then male avatar. There we have it. And we have it as a group 2, as you can see here. And also this one needs to have all of the namespaces removed. So let's delete that. Delete. Delete. Always merge with root. Alright. We'll keep the namespace editor open, okay, for the export procedure. Now, another thing to notice is that everything is doubled in their names. Maya is not complaining right now because everything is contained in each single groups. But when it will come to export, there are a few things that will clash, and that's the whole trouble with exporting multiple avatar animations. So both groups have an object called body controller, alright, and we need to have just one. Okay, so either one should go. So I will just delete the second one, and we will rely, or let the script rely on only one from one of the two characters. Now let's move these apart. Female on one side and then the male on the other side, something like this. Okay. Now inside of the groups here, we have all of the hierarchies doubled, basically. And what the scripts do not really like is the same names for all of these objects here. So the export skeleton is the one that's called hip. All of the others are not really important. Okay, and therefore we need to make sure that Maya finds only one hip at a time. So in order to export, for example, the female one first, we click on hip, we have a manipulator open, and we know that this is a female one. Or we might as well rename the group so it's easier to recognize what is what. Okay. We can make an animation on one, on the other one, make them interact. When we are ready to export, trying to make the export right now will result in an error. More than one object matches name hip. If you just change the name hip over there, it will keep complaining with something else that has the name exactly the same as another object, another joint. So the way to go with it, so let me close this, is to use namespaces. Okay, so I'm going to select hip on the female one because I want to export the male one first. Okay, so I will select the hip on the female to export the male, and then I'm going to use select hierarchy in order to select the whole thing, and here in the outliner I will hit F to expand all of the hierarchy over there. Then I will remake the selection from here, from the lower side, holding down Shift up to the first one, so I have the actual selection going over there. In the namespace editor, I'm going to create new namespace 1, make sure it's selected, and then I will add the selected objects. And as you can see now, all of the selected objects names have been prepended a new namespace 1 namespace name. Okay, so now when we are going to export the animation, it's not gonna give you any error. Now there is no animation whatsoever here, so it took no time, but it didn't complain at all. Okay, export completed. Now the thing is totally empty, so it's fine like this. When we're done with that, we can just delete this namespace, merge with root, everything goes back to normal, and we can repeat the same thing with the other one, with the male hip skeleton. So we select that, go to select menu, hierarchy, hit F to expand the whole hierarchy, start from the bottom, Shift held down, select the hip, and then we create a new namespace, add all of the selected, make sure all of these objects, all of these joints here have the namespace 1 prepended to it. And when we're going to export this animation, as you can see, as a result, as the last thing that was selected by the script is the female hip, this one here. So that means this is the skeleton, the animated skeleton that was going to be exported. Okay, so quick test on another test I did myself. That you can go to the beta grid. Now remember that when you export, you can just do a global avatar position, so that the center of the scene is always the place where objects that serve as pose balls are going to be located. Or you can untick this and use this object as a reference frame for the repositioning of the object. So if you want your pose ball to be, say, here or here, you can use this object as a reference frame. But regardless of that, I will pause a video for a second so that I can show you the two animations I exported as test. Alright, so here I am on the beta grid. Yeah, first of all, I need to turn off my animation overrider. And here I have the couple test 1 and couple test 2. So 1 and 2. There. So what I did here was to make a really stupid and simple animation where the left side one, where's second live here, okay, where the left side one was facing the first one, like this, alright, whilst this other one here, the male, was just shifting aside. Okay, so this means that the two things, the two objects, the two animations have the same length and they should be, and they are, synchronized, thing that you should do via script anyway. So this one here, as you can see, is rotated by 90 degrees, whilst this other one is just shifting sideways. Okay, did not actually make any good looping over here, and I just used a non-bento skeleton to simplify things a little bit, but the concept is always the same. Bento is no different than regular skeleton animation, but that's basically the concept behind it. Whatever you do, the initial stance is always to be thought as center of your avatar is here and facing this direction always. Okay, whatever you do, rotating and repositioning, will happen from the center of your avatar in world. Okay, so once you're done, just make sure that you eliminate any namespace and merge with root, so that you get a cleaner naming over here, and maybe you can also reuse things in other files if you want. But that's basically it. It just works doing these few manual operations, and I hope you enjoy this feature. Bye.